Hi, I'm Sherry McGill, and you're watching Lessons Learned. Hello, welcome back to the Monday Quilt Chat. How was your weekend? Hope it was productive or fun or restful or whatever it is that you needed. I'm just sitting here getting ready to work on the backing of the Save the Bees quilt. So I did get my border fabric in, and let me run over here and get that panel and that quilt top so you can see how it turned out with the border on it. It turned out to be a 60 by 70. So it's almost a full size or twin size, I'm not sure. I wanted to be kind of 60 by 60, sort of. So I'm a little bit longer. So there's what it's going to look like. I'm going to have my binding on there. That's the rest of the piano keys. So it'll kind of sort of show up, but it won't be such a stark border as a plain black like it is around the panel. So what I'm doing today is I am working on the backing pieces, and I'm using up the rest of the 10-inch squares. So I'm going to make some huge half square triangles, and then whatever I'm lacking, I'm going to do strips of black and or white and make a backing out of these. So it's been a big thinking process to get this going. So yeah, I'm just going to take like a dark and a light and make that line down the center. Well, I'm not going to draw the line because I have seam tape attached to my machine, so I don't really have to do that, but I'm going to put those two lines down each side of the center so that I can cut them and make two huge half square triangles. So we'll see how far I get on this. There we go. Line up my area there. But yeah, it turned out a little bigger than I thought. So I almost do have two complete bed quilts out of this bee fabric now. I did break down and, buy that border that I just put on, that big print. But it's okay. I wouldn't have been satisfied with it had I not done that. So I told you I'd get excited about it again. Here I am working on it. When I was watching So Yeah Saturday night, I did another one of the little sampler blocks. I did put that on Instagram. And remember, my Instagram is Lessons Learned Quilts. So if you want to follow me on there, you can see maybe some things a little bit ahead of a YouTube video, but I try not to do that because, well, for one thing, if you show stuff on Instagram, then maybe you won't go on YouTube and watch the video, and that would not be good. So let me get that and I'll show it to you. Loving this project, just love it. And I'm going slow and really enjoying it, just really trying to not get tired of it or frustrated with it or anything like that. So that's Broken Dishes. And just as a reminder, I show these on Friday too, but there's a churn dasher. I forget what this one's called. Some of them have names that are particular to Harriett's Journey. The book that I'm getting these out of, Harriett's Journey. There was the first one I had made. So I decided, you know what, I need to start keeping out my extra fabrics that I'm pulling from the bin over here, the unending scrap bin. That's where I'm getting my stuff to make this with. And I'm like, you know what, I probably need to kind of plan a little bit and try to make sure I have enough of the same fabrics in some of these early blocks as I do in the later blocks, so that it all coordinates. It's not going to be matchy because you know that you have all kinds of different colors and patterns. But anyway, just wanted to show you that little block. It's so cute. I just love it. Broken dishes. It's so cute. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And let's see, what else? Oh, I showed you the one placemat that I got done Friday. Well, I got another one completely done. There's that one. All done. Now we have 4 more. That's another thing that's just going to take a little bit, because I kind of have to be in the mood to do this. All that little tiny quilting that I put on there. Got to be in the mood. Got to be in the mood. Something I saw on Pat Sloan's Facebook group. If you're on there, you may have seen it. Probably not. It's probably something that just caught my eye. But people, write in questions on there. What would you do in this situation, or what would you put with this, and different things. So this one member of the group said, what can I do to keep the corners of my triangles going down into my needle plate? You know what I'm talking about, when you start off and you can use a leader, leaders and enders. You can use one of those to start with, to avoid some of that disastrous stuff that happens down in the needle plate. So I told her that in the comment section, I guess you could say, whatever it is on Facebook, when you respond to somebody's question or something, their page, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, she was saying, what can I do to avoid that? And there was like 70 comments, and I did not see this one particular comment that I ended up putting out on there, which was clean under your needle plate. Most likely, there's so much junk up under your needle plate that's causing it. Now, that doesn't make any logical sense. Why would that be? But it's a known fact. It's true. And nobody wants to admit to it, really, because they don't want to do the cleaning. And that's true. I don't like to do the cleaning either. But, I'd rather do the cleaning than yank the material out of the needle plate ever so often. So anyway, I put that on there, what I thought it was and what she should do. And then I thought, you know what? I ought to not necessarily make a whole entire video about cleaning under your needle plate, but, stick something on here about it. So I did make a little clip of me cleaning under my needle plate. And it wasn't horrible because I had just done it. Seriously, like 2 days ago, I just cleaned it. I had quilted, since then, I have quilted this and put the binding on and made this little block. That's all the sewing that I've done. Now, that's quite a bit on this, all that sewing. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to talk about this in this Monday quilt chat. So let's just see how filthy this is under here with just running one placemat through it. I already have my screws out so you can see. Ooh, Ooh, pretty dirty. See all that? Now, I had just cleaned this maybe 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And I had also oiled the machine too. Now, I do probably do a lot more sewing than the average person, maybe in a week's time or month's time, whatever. But you can see all that fuzz there that's just hovering over. So I'm going to sweep that out with my handy dandy little doodad here. There's also some little broken threads I see. Yeah. But the reason why I wanted to show you this isn't so much about the fuzz that's just hanging out, but you know, just generally speaking here. But I wanted to show you the fuzz on the feed dogs, because just to look at them, try to get as close as I can here. I don't know if it's going to focus in. They don't look that bad per se. It's not like there's great big fuzz bunnies on top of there. But if you take your brush and really go at them, you start to see what comes out. I doubt you're going to be able to see what I'm seeing on here. But there's a lot of fuzz in those little grooves. There went a big hunk. I should have done it a little slower. Let me change hands here so I can do the other side. But if you can just really get in between those little teeth. I don't know if you call them teeth or treads. Big difference in those words, but anyway, you can see what's just coming right off the surface. See my thing here in my hand? That was all in between those little treads right here. There's another big bunch. And some pieces of thread where thread has broken. So if you're having trouble with your fabric getting caught when you take off, ooh, there was a big one, and it's pulling your fabric down into that underneath the throat area, it's probably because it's dirty. And you might say, well, I just did it yesterday, or I just did it last week, or whatever. This has to come up too. Sometimes there's fuzziness under here. And I know you all that have had machines for a while know all this stuff. You know how to do it. But let's just talk about how often do we really need to do it. We really need to do it a lot more often than you think. Because that's what causes those little irky problems that you get with the thread and the material being sucked down in there. So I'm going to finish this up a little bit better with both hands instead of using one for the camera and one for the brush, so that I can really do a good job. And just there again, right on these treads, even though you've already been over them, do it again while you got this open. So don't be surprised if you have to do this several times a week. And it's not really that big of a deal. So, you know, it's 2 screws. And look, the underside of this also is already fuzzy. So I'll clean that up too. So what do you think about that? I know there's a lot of different points of view about why that happens and how to overcome it. I even put out one time on a video that, you know, just grab your tails of your thread that you start with and just ever so slightly hang on to them until you get started. And I still do that as a practice, and I rarely have problems with thread or material corners going down into the needle plate. So there's one. Put that on the back of that. That isn't one. That's two. You ever get going on a project really good, making half square triangles, and you've made twice as many as you needed to? I've done that. Let's see what I got here I can put together. This one's kind of dark. Yeah, this will go. This will be fine. So yeah, I think these will be good for the back of the Save the Beast panel quilt, because once I get all these together, that's going to cover a lot of territory. Some of you have already been sending your number 7, week 7, block 7 windmill garden out there on Instagram. So happy to see that everybody's... Oh, I was air sewing. No, I wasn't. No, I was imagining something there for a second. Okay. Do y'all use seam tape on your table, on your sewing table, to be able to not have to draw those diagonal lines? You should really try it. You don't have to draw those lines, you don't have to pin it. Of course, you all know how much I hate pins. Sometimes you have to use a couple pins, but that's about all I use. If I have to use pins, I use a couple pins. Thank you for all your suggestions on a little goodie for all the fellow retreaters. Y'all had some really good ideas. I'm thinking about all of them. And either I'll do one of those or a combination of several, who knows. But at least now I've got my creative juices flowing with that. And somebody said you ought to, for the guys, I should bring some sort of barbecue sauce or some sort of barbecue rub mixture from the area here. And I'm sure I could find something like that, because those guys really like to barbecue. And there's another one. So I might try to hunt something like that down. It's been raining. Yesterday was just kind of a dreary day, and it's kind of a little bit refreshing, even though I absolutely hate dreary days. Any day without the sun out is not good for me. But, it's kind of a refreshing relief from the heat. Although you can hear my air conditioning going on and off back there. I finally figured out how to get it to, automatically go on and off. Helps if you read the manual. Oh, did I say that? Read the manual. Yep, that's what it takes. Well, I guess I will continue on this. Start working on getting a backing together today. And I just might run out to Joann's and get me a bag of batting. Start working on it. Start doing some quilting on it. That's a whole nother thing I haven't even started thinking much about yet for this quilt. what kind of quilting to do on it. So that's what my plan is. I'm going to continue to work on the placemats this week and see what else I can get myself into. You just never know around here. You just never know. So I will see you guys on Friday, if not before. If I have something special to put out for you during the week, you can look out for that. Be sure you're subscribed and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share it with your friends if you can. And we're just going to keep on going up and up and up for those subscribers. And when we get to 5,000, we're going to have a big giveaway. So tell all your guild friends and your family members that are interested in crafty things, or watch a lot of YouTube to subscribe and get notifications from me. So, okay, so have a good week in your sewing room. Sew a little bit every day. It's good for you. All right, bye.